This batik artwork reflects a scene of a sarong making workshop, as suggested by its title. Sarong refers to the batik garment frequently worn by the Malay villagers in Malaya. Various human figures of dynamic poses are arranged in the foreground and the background, engaged in various stages of making batik cloth. Men are portrayed to be shirtless, while women don patterned dresses.
On the bottom right corner, in the foreground, viewers see a woman's head looking right at them, as she balances a basket of cloth on her head. Behind her, women are seated on the floor in a circular formation, engaged in applying hot wax on their batik cloths using the chanting tool. They could be surrounding a hot pot of wax, placed above a live fire, as suggested by the angular orange and yellow shapes in between the women. Their chanting actions are further amplified by the woman on their left, seated cross-legged in profile as she applies wax on batik cloth, hung on a wooden pole, to create beautiful floral patterns. This figure is mirrored by a man on the opposite end of the painting, who is also engaged in applying wax to create beautiful patterns. Instead of using a chanting, however, he is using a stamping tool to replicate the patterns over a larger surface area.
In the background, figures are engaged with the second part of batik making, the dyeing and washing process. On the top right corner, figures are huddling around a basin of purple dye. Two are seen to be holding up a wax cloth, as though they are raising it out of the colored basin, to see if the cloth has fully absorbed the dye. On their left, a male figure is seen to be washing the cloth in a circular basin, removing the wax from the cloth to reveal the patterns. The figures on his left and his back are hanging the cloths in the open to let them dry, thus completing the whole cycle of batik making. What is interesting is how there is no singular visual weight throughout the artwork. Every figure is presented to be engaged in one of the batik making processes, focusing intensely on their work. No one is presented as the leader of the group. This treatment builds a sense of togetherness, or in the Malay language, a gotong royong spirit, where everyone is equally doing their part to create beautiful artworks for the community, regardless of age or gender.